So last week, I was very lucky to receive the code for the closed network test, and with it, I played Elden Ring and had a total playtime of 14 hours, and most of it was engaging in co-op and PvP. Mostly PvP. I enjoyed every bit of the game, from gameplay mechanic. They brought back Dark Souls 1 poise, by the way, just sharing. Amazing visuals, enemies, and mostly the weapon variety in the game has to offer. But what really grabbed my attention in Elden Ring is the implementation of Ashes of War. If you guys don't know, Ashes of War are interchangeable weapon arts that can be applied in weapons of Elden Ring. Do take note that not all weapons can be applied with some Ashes of War skills, and some weapons have a built-in weapon art that cannot be changed. The game plan of Elden Ring has also changed, since Fromsoft removed the hit counter mechanic. For those who don't know, this mechanic was used in Dark Souls 3, where each weapon has a guaranteed 2-hit combo, and some weapons have a variety of combos that can really change the tide of the fight. In Elden Ring, however, they completely removed this mechanic, making it more long-paced, and dishing out consistent damage can be tough. So the following weapons I chose in this list are really good at the following: Rollcatching, damage, range, and finally, consistency. Disclaimer: these are all my personal opinions on what I think are the best PvP weapons in the network test. These are all subjected to change when the full game comes out. Again, these weapons only apply in the network test. The first weapons in this list are the spells and incantations of the game. Specifically speaking, the Glintstone Pebble, Glintstone Stars, Carrion Piercer, Beast Claw, Flame of Frenzy, Griol's Roar, and Dragonfire. These spells in the game can dish out high damage, have top tier range, and have top tier roll catching potential due to the new charge spell mechanic. I'm really glad Fromsoft added more flavor to the casting build, and the fact that they implemented charge spells, holding down R1, can really catch an opponent off guard. I put these spells on top 5 because all of them are also pretty slow and is easily telegraphed. A good player can bait spells and easily go for a jumping attack or an easy rushdown option. I still find these spells to have a bad matchup up against other weapons, but overall they are pretty top tier, especially when equipped with a weapon. On top 4 we have the Longsword. Longswords in Dark Souls games have always been a solid top tier weapon in PvP. The Longsword is very versatile, and with the new Ashes of War, the Longsword can be a force to be reckoned with. The Longsword has average damage in the network test, and has a decent guard counter attack in the game. The only thing driving this weapon back is the lack of consistency to apply pressure and damage. My go-to skills with this weapon is Stormblade, Determination, or Thunderbolt, making the Longsword reliable on medium to long-ranged opponents. On top 3, we have the Twin Blades, by far the most fun weapon to use in the game. The Twin Blades are also very good at applying pressure due to its unique running two-handed R1, where it spins the blade at the opponent while running, giving you more chances to hit the opponent as you come by. The Twin Blades have a very awesome moveset and decent jump attacks. Basically, the Twin Blades can do everything the Longsword can, but better. My only issue with this weapon is the fact that you cannot equip projectile skills to the weapon, Well, I tried with my favorite, like the Thunderbolt or the Stormblade, and I have no luck trying. But I found a very good skill, and that is called determination. You can use determination if you want to continue applying high damage to your opponent. In number 2 will be my favorite weapon in the game, and it will be the Bastard Greatsword, specifically dual wielding. In my playthrough, I made a very tanky strength character with high poise and decided to dual wield greatswords for fun. But to my surprise, the weapon is a success in the damage and pressure department. My go-to strategy with this weapon is to space out my opponent and do a delayed jumping L1. I found that delaying your jumping L1 with the greatswords really catches them while rolling, meanwhile dishing really high damage. I found the running L1 against magic users and L1 spam against the turtles to be a very effective strategy in this playstyle. My go-to skills for dual-wielding greatswords is Determination on my right hand and Stormblade on my offhand, so I can catch fleeting opponents off guard and finish them off rightly. The final weapon on this list is surprisingly the Great Lance. The Great Lance in this game is a completely different weapon compared to Dark Souls 3. The Great Lance now can quite possibly be an 8 tier weapon and have decent matchups against future top tier weapons in Elden Ring. The Great Lance moveset is quite the same with Dark Souls 3, although the Great Lance have the best running attacks in the game, both the running R1 and running R2. For those who don't know, Elden Ring also added new moveset for running attacks, giving them unique animations for running R1s and running R2s. The running R1 of the Great Lance is the standard running R1 of spears in Elden Ring. The running R2 has the standard running R1 of the Great Lance in Dark Souls 3. So the Great Lance has really good chase down options in the game. But wait, there's more. The jumping R1 of the Great Lance is a huge lunge forward thrusting attack that catches the enemy by surprise, hitting the opponent at a very far away reach. And the Great Lance also exceeds in the damage department due to thrust counter damage. I don't know if thrust counters are still in the game, but I found myself hitting critical shots whenever I hit the opponent in the middle of their animations. Not only that, but the consistency of the Great Lance is impeccable. I have noticed that the Great Lance have better tracking than all the Dark Souls 3 spears. I found myself hitting opponents consistently, despite the fact they are running in circles around me trying to dodge my attacks, or funny enough, a backstab. The playstyle of this weapon is also very flexible. Being a defensive turtle is a very viable strategy now because of guard counters and shields having high defense. But being on offensive can also win you fights because of the jumping attacks and chase down options the Great Lance has to offer to you. So these are my top 5 weapons in the game. Let me hear your thoughts. Do you have a favorite weapon? Comment down below what weapon you enjoyed the most in Elden Ring. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I'll enjoy that a lot. Subscribe or I'll invade your house.